Hello everyone, Tommy with Studio Sins here. Welcome to a brand new day and video. Hope you're doing awesome, and I hope you're getting prepared for the season's change. I did want to let you know, I was thinking about it this morning, what some of my top favorite fragrances that I have for autumn, for fall, that I'm looking forward to wearing. And I gotta say, these 7 that we're going to be talking about today are hovering around the very top for me that I can't wait to wear again. The smell, the aroma is amazing. Kind of reminds you of all your favorite things about the season's change, from hot cocoa, skiing, snowboarding, gathering around a fire with friends at a resort, good memories of all those things. So coming up are 7 potent or powerfully projecting fragrances for fall that I can't wait to wear. That and more is coming your way, so stay tuned. Welcome back everyone. Today I wanted to share with you 7 fragrances that are near and dear. I really enjoy the aroma of these fragrances, what they remind me of, and just how powerfully projecting they are. And that's why I use the word potent, something that's just very heavy and very effective in what it does. The very first fragrance that I can't wait to start wearing more is, actually I have 2 of them by Paco Rabanne. This is the first one. It is Pure Excess Night. Pure Excess Night is one of very few gourmand fragrances that makes use of a salted caramel note. Behind that salted caramel note is ginger, also some vanilla, and a good bit of darker myrrh, which is very similar to incense. Fantastic combination. Even though it's an older gourmand fragrance, I gotta say it's among the very top for me in just how much I enjoy using it and how versatile it is. A lot of people consider this a good date night fragrance. Well, it's not just a date night fragrance. It's a fantastic transitional or seasonal segue fragrance by Paco Rabanne. Pure Excess Night. The second Paco Rabanne fragrance that I can't wait to wear more of hasn't been around long enough to be able to be used or utilized, at least properly, in cooler weather. And that is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Elixir. Elixir seems to be the word for the darkest, deepest, densest concentration of fragrance oils. Is this one appropriately named as an elixir? Because you know you've got 1 million, 1 million lucky, 1 million parfum. This opens with one of my favorite combination of notes in all of history, and that is apple divana. So good. Such a very crisp opening, but it goes straight away for that density, because in the heart you've got rose, you've got osmanthus. In the base you've got tonka, patchouli, cedarwood, some additional divana. So this is divana rich fragrance. If you're a fan of the note of divana, you'll really enjoy Elixir. This one is a heavier, sweeter fragrance, but don't let that deter you from using it. It's just got a fantastic sillage trail when you first wear it, the first hour and a half, 2 hours. But then it settles to your skin to a wonderful dry down, and it lasts a good 8 to 10 hours. This is a beast for fall, and that's why it's in this list, because I am really enjoying just how well this works. I've been wearing it all summer in the cooler nights of summer just to get a feel of how it's going to work in colder weather, and I can't wait to wear it this fall. 1 Million Elixir by Paco Rabanne. Next up in my powerfully projecting fragrances I can't wait to wear more of this fall is a fragrance that I think, similar to 1 Million Elixir, is relatively new to the game. I don't think it's been around long enough to be utilized for fall, but I can't wait to wear it more because it truly is a transitional fragrance. It is a Salvatore Ferragamo fragrance in the Ferragamo line of leather fragrances. It is spicy leather. What I really enjoy about spicy leather, and why I can't wait to wear it more, is that when you first wear this, at least for the first hour, hour and a half, as it's drying down, it doesn't really smell like a leather fragrance. It isn't until the top notes are kind of gone and dried off that you start getting into that more intense, spicy kind of leather fragrance. The spices of the fragrance kind of remind me of several light gourmand fragrances that are very popular, and I think that's why it makes it such a perfect fall fragrance. It opens with bergamot, lemon, and saffron. Saffron is that very bright register, spicy note that is a lead in several oud fragrances into the darker, kind of a handshake into darker notes. In this case, it leads into a black pepper, nutmeg, clary sage. That's where all your spices are in the heart of this, into kind of an infusion of patchouli, sandalwood in the base, and that's where the leather is. So that leather is in the dry down. It makes sense that you have to wait for that dry down to come, and then you get more of a leather specific fragrance. But all on top of that are those spices, and it's just a great kind of fusion of those two different kinds of fragrant notes. Very aromatic, very potent. This one is a good 8+ hour fragrance on my skin, and that's why I can't wait to wear it more this fall. Ferragamo Spicy Leather by Salvatore Ferragamo. I don't know what's happening with Ferragamo. It's really hard to find their fragrances lately at most retail stores online and brick and mortar, but you can find Spicy Leather right now at Harrods for about $82. The next powerful or potent fragrance I can't wait to wear more of this fall is one by Givenchy, and of course the Gentleman line of fragrances. There are several in that line that are just perfect for cooler weather, and this has to be at the top of my list. It is Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boissé. Boissé is a extremely powerfully balsamic, rich with a little bit of sweetness added by the tonka, and then you've got that string of iris running through it, that pure iris note. But this one isn't as iris heavy as some of the other flankers in the line. I do like that about it though, because it feels like a cold weather fragrance in the way that the Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum feels like a cold weather fragrance. This one, however, is aces more powdery, more balsamic, kind of lightly aldehydic, but not aldehydic in the way that a sport fragrance is. What's primarily creating that very elegant, dry feel is a combination of wood smoke in the base of the fragrance, as well as cocoa, which is kind of a very powdery, lightly rough, lightly resinous note that creates this enveloping effect that's just like walking up to a cabin and catching some of that wood smoke in your face. Extremely pleasant with a bit of iris running through it. That is one reason I can't wait to wear Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boissé. The next powerfully projecting fragrance I can't wait to wear more of this fall is another newcomer to the scene. When it was first released at full retail, it was relatively expensive, but I think I made the comment, I think several reviewers made the comment that when this hits discounters, it's going to be an amazing deal. And it is a Lalique fragrance. It is Lalique White and Black. Kind of an odd name, and I got to admit the marketing idea for this is one of those things that you think that's cool, but then you just don't ever use again. This came with a chalk pencil that you could actually use the back, or for that matter the front, because the bottle has this kind of tactile feel like a chalkboard. And you can write whatever message that you want, get poetic. Barring that, the fragrance itself is amazingly aromatic. If you remember the original Lalique White, it has this very kind of spicy, elegant feel to it. Well, that same scent profile is part of Lalique White and Black, although it is more of a spicy kind of cool weather fragrance version. Very similar to Lalique White. It's not a sweet fragrance at all. It takes vanilla and it takes cardamom. Of course, cardamom adds some creamy sweetness, but it is a very light sweet. As soon as your olfactive sense catches hold of the sweetness, it's already gone. There's no lingering sweetness to this fragrance. It's very elegant, very aromatic. It is one that I would say you could very easily wear to upscale events in cold weather. It is perfect casually or upscale. So Lalique has created probably one of the most versatile cold weather fragrances out there. So I'm very interested to see what they do with the Lalique White kind of line of fragrances, what they're going to do after this, because this is a absolute bomb of a fragrance. And I mean bomb as in a positive, not a negative. So that's why I can't wait to wear Lalique White and Black more this fall, put it through its paces. Next up is also a relative newcomer to the scene, is by Viktor and Rolf. It is Spice Bomb Infrared. I feel like Spice Bomb Infrared is to fall and autumn what Spice Bomb Extreme is to winter. It's the absolute perfect answer to the question of what spicy tobacco-oriented fragrance with some red notes in there for heat can I wear this fall and this autumn? Infrared is definitely the answer to that. With notes like pimento, habanero, cinnamon, amberwood, pretty much any dark, rich, resinous, aromatic, fragrant note that is red is going to be in infrared. Of course, its claim to fame is tobacco because it's carrying that Spice Bomb Extreme or Spice Bomb DNA. It is by no means a Spice Bomb Extreme lesser, simply because it is infrared and wants to kind of focus on those red, hot notes. It is by no means less powerful or less potent than Spice Bomb Extreme. I really enjoy this one. I do think the formula is a bit more refined. It's equally as powerfully performing as Spice Bomb Extreme is. And that's why I can't wait to wear infrared more this autumn. The last of the 7 fragrances that are powerfully projecting, very potent, can't wait to wear more of this fall is probably a given. For those of you out there that don't know me well enough to know some of my favorite notes, and my favorite season, which is fall and winter, simply because there seemed to be so much more creativity involved in cold weather fragrances than in just your basic freshies out there. At least that's the way it is right now. I'm sure that'll change in the future, hopefully. But some of the fragrant notes that I really enjoy, again, the darker, the richer, the more aromatic it is, the better. Cinnamon, star anise, licorice, all those can be found in this fragrance, and it is a Christian Dior fragrance, Dior Sauvage Elixir. Elixir is one that I wore the heck out of it in cold weather. It is by far one of the most long-lasting designer fragrances in cold weather that I've ever worn. You know, even going head to head with Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum, the dark, almost creosote-rich fragrance for wintertime. So, fantastic fragrance. The way that it merges all those fragrant notes, you know, you've got nutmeg, you've got lavender, you've got coumarin, again, licorice, vetiver, patchouli. There's so many fragrant notes in here that are so densely packed, so that when it starts drying down and it starts actually rolling those notes out and literally unpacking them, you actually start smelling, oh, there's more pine, right? Or, oh, there's more licorice coming to the foreground. It's a lot more aromatic, you know, in this segment of the fragrance. You can really kind of count those segments of dry down and the notes as they start drying down and coming to the foreground. And it's an extremely pleasant, dank, rich fragrance to wear and to smell on yourself, and really to smell on someone else as well. It's equally as enjoyable. And that's why I can't wait to wear more of Sauvage Elixir. Well guys, that's it for my 7 fragrances that are potent and powerfully projecting that I can't wait to wear more of this autumn and this fall. Again, it's a relatively short list. There are so many of them. Actually, pretty soon, I'm working on it now, but I'll unveil my top 10 fragrances for fall for 2022. I'll be releasing that relatively soon, and I'll be able to talk about more fall fragrances that I can't wait to wear more of as well. But this is my short list. If you own any of these, let me know what your favorite aspects of them are, or if there are other fall fragrances that I haven't mentioned that you can't wait to wear more of. Let me know what those are in the comments below. Thanks so much for stopping by and checking out today's video. As always, thank you so much for your support on my channel. I'm Tommy with Studio Sense, and I'll see you tomorrow.